Okay, so I'm on the walking tour of Mckinney, downtown Mckinney. This is the first thing on the agenda. This is the Collin County Prison. It closed, from what I know, in 1979. And this, of course, is a front facade. It is now for accountants. It's an accounting building. Peter M. Carroll and Company, LLC. And down here along the side, you can see the side of the old prison. It went all the way down there where that girl's walking, and on beyond, all the way down to the other street, I believe. So pretty cool. Over here now we have the WOW home. WOW stands for Workman of the World. So if you can see that WOW home up there, if you look up above that at the very top center, there's actually a motif of an axe and a tree. So these obviously were woodworkers that created this building like 100 years ago. And so I think that's pretty cool. Okay, here's the third stop on our tour here. It's a house of a doctor that built this thing way back a long time ago. And so this is just the establishing shot that I want you to notice. And now if you look at the whole thing, you see the big porch and the transoms over the main windows there. We'll go across there and get a closer look. Okay, so here, you can look over these two windows here. See that one up there at the top? This is near at the bottom. So it's got those stained glass over those transoms over the regular windows. Of course here, we got these big, gigantic flowers. And all of that, let's see. It's a lawyer's office. I don't know if they'll mind me stepping up here. Well, let me get out of the sun there. See, we got some pretty flowers here, and this thing's pretty weird looking. But there's that. So, anyway, hopefully this porch view will be coming through. I've got this on wide shot, 4K. So, you can see these windows here. See right there, we've got more of those transoms over the windows with the stained glass. So this building over here is an engineering building now, Cross Engineering Consulting. But this building was built in 1920, I believe it said, and it started life, believe it or not. If you can look at it and see, you can sort of see remnants of it, but you just can't tell it by today. But anyway, it was actually created as a gas station. So this was a gas station right in downtown Mckinney. That is now an engineering consulting building. But pretty cool looking building, I think. Okay, so these buildings across the street here, hopefully my finger's pointing right. This whitish looking building with the black over there. This is 116 and 114 Tennessee Street. This is actually one of the only last remaining storefronts, original storefronts, in Mckinney. And some of the various architecture of it is literally the only building from the original ones that is still left. I'm going to go across the street here, and we'll see that these are cast iron columns, these big black things on either side here. Those are actually cast at a foundry in Denison and brought here when this was originally built back in the 1890s. So pretty amazing. And then you see the stonework up there at the very top of it, hopefully. So that's pretty cool too. So this is the last remaining original storefront in all of downtown Mckinney. Pretty cool. Okay, now I'm behind the WOW building. And if you look up there, hopefully you can see that up there. That says WOW Home. If you look over here, sort of a ghost sign right in here. If you can see that from the top of the building down about 10 feet and over, probably 30 feet. It says the Horn Palace. That's what this used to be known as well. A little story I read on it was there was a local sheriff, I guess once he retired, he opened up a museum of sorts with nothing but horns. And supposedly he had the longest longhorn horns on display in the state. And he had horns from all around the world, so it said. So it's actually a museum he set up in this building. But you can see that the ghost sign, or hopefully you can see it, is still there. Now you can see right ahead of us, right underneath, well, to the right of where the little silver pipe is, you can see that used to be a window. There's a ghost sign of some sort right there, and one down there. Let's go take a closer look. Okay, now that ghost sign right here, hopefully you can see, I can't make out any words at all on that. It's just green and yellow paint for the most part. Let's go over here and take a look at this white one. Okay, hopefully you can see that. It says the Lagore. No. Lagoret? The Decorat maybe? A custom drapery and bedspread workroom? So something like that. Anyway, strange. So let's go on to the next building. Alright, so this building over here in front of us was called the J.P. Dow Tin Shop. That was built apparently around 1920. And the thing that made it interesting are the windows. We'll get a little closer look here. You see how they're made 2 by 2. 2 down there, 2 here, 2 right here on this side, 2 down on that side. And they're all got arches. So for the time that this was built in 1920, that was actually pretty futuristic. So that's the outstanding section of this building. Okay, now as I'm walking to my next destination on this walking tour, see up there, it's another ghost sign. I can't make out what it says. Maybe dents. I don't know. I'm not sure. But it's very, very old. And right here on this building, I wish we really had smell-o-vision here, man, because let me tell you what I'm smelling right now is really good. This is the Pantry Restaurant, apparently. Let's go on over here. Try to be as steady as I can. Yes, the Pantry Restaurant. And it says it's home of the chocolate chip pie. If you can see that. Yeah, chocolate chip pie. Here, just to make sure. That is pretty cool. Here's another ghost sign. It says A.D. Hope, Sons Hardware, Housewares, Gifts, Jacuzzi, well pump supplies, plumbing, and electrical supplies. So that's pretty cool ghost sign as well. And then here, just across from what we just shot, it's all these arrows and the peace sign. So now, this building here, this is the front of what used to be the J.P. Dow hardware store. What makes it so unique is it's one of the few remaining 3-story buildings that was built, and this was built originally in 1888. So this building is 23 years younger than the Civil War. So this building, from the top to the bottom, has definitely seen a lot of action. But that's the cool thing about this building. Alright, this building here is the courthouse in Mckinney. And it was actually originally built in 1877, and then it was redone in 1927. It used to be a French type building. Now it's a Greek type building. You see the Ionic columns over there, so that's pretty cool. Kind of here you can see we get a better view of those columns right there. Up at the top is a clock. Should be coming through. But that's the style of the building right there. So that's the Collin County Courthouse in McKinney. Okay, now right over here across the street is Smith Drug Store. This thing has been in continuous operation, apparently not in the same building, but since the 1880s it has been in operation and still is today. Up or down one of these streets, I'm not sure of where, some other building, I know that, but obviously that's where they started. You see the windows above, those arched windows with the concrete treatment looks like. I think that's pretty cool. But anyway, this is supposed to have one of the oldest neon signs that's left in McKinney. So we'll go across the street and take a look at that. But I thought I'd show you this building over here too. You see it's the First National Bank. It's got a great big eagle up there on top of that. I guess what looks like a flagpole. And I think that's pretty darn cool. But let's go across and take a closer look over here. Alright, so now that building over there, that's one of 2 buildings they said left in Mckinney that has some pressed tin up in the ceiling. We'll go over and look at that in a minute. But the Red Chicken is a big sign here, and that building was built in the 1870s, I believe it was. 1870s or 1880s, I have to look it up again, we'll see. But we'll go over and take a closer look at it. So it's the building with the big Red Chicken on it. So hopefully up there you see those little columns up there. Those are cast iron. And one of the only 2 buildings left in the whole downtown district that has those types of things. We'll have to look inside, I guess, for the pressed tin ceiling. Pretty good yourself? Good. That's the pressed tin ceiling right there. Okay, you see this Art Deco building over here in this corner that we're looking at that kind of runs the length of half of this block. This was actually started off as a Silver Brothers dry goods store. In the 40s it changed it to a J.C. Penney and then a drug store. So it's one of the only Art Deco buildings, and it was built by some famous architects in Dallas, somebody in Mitchell I think it said. But yeah, but that sign said there, but it don't. So that's, I think, the only Art Deco building you'll find in all of downtown. Now, directly across the street from me, do you see those 9 windows up there? And how they're decorated? I think they're pretty cool. But anyway, this is the old Opera House. That was actually built back in the 1880s. And it's got a lot of nice little brickwork up there at the very top above the windows, if you can see that. So this used to be an opera house many years ago, but you can see now it's called Rick's. So Opera House days are long gone. And though this ain't talking about this on the itinerary of the walking tour, if you look up here, hopefully you can see that says the Grand Hotel. So that's the Grand Hotel of Mckinney, and it also has the same as this building here at the very, very top. Up there at the top, it's got that same type of architecture up there, so I think that's pretty cool. Just wanted to point that out. And real quickly, on this side of the street, you see these cast iron columns right here. They go all the way up and down this particular building here. So I got a feeling at one time this was one building, but they've got split into at least 3 now. But see if I can't get you a closer look of those, if you can see that up there, hopefully. So that's pretty cool.